Connecting, 1, 2, 3. And we're up. Sam Kaplan, great to see you. Connecting, 1, 2, 3.
Thanks so much.
Uh,
Thanks so much, Ian. It's great to be here.
Sam is a very talented and accomplished winemaker, making wines at Arkenstone, Memento Mori, Van Gogh, Valle Valente. And we're going to talk about a wine that's a little closer to home with him today, Maxem. And Sam, let me get right into the slideshow unless you rock and roll.
That's great.
Let me share this. We'll get it over there. And bam.
Here we
This is
are.
a spectacular Pinot Noir 2022 Silver Eagle, very special vineyard site. Maxem, Sam, go for it.
Yeah, so thanks so much, Ian. Maxim is really my wife Nancy and I's passion project coming from the Sonoma Coast. My focus here with the other brands you mentioned is in the Napa Valley with, Cabernet Sauvignon dominant wines. So Maxim really, we've always loved wines from the Sonoma Coast. So I worked years to get access into the Silver Eagle Vineyard and Ulysses Valdez, the UV Vineyard. So kind of what I thought were the most the most Grand Cru incredible sites out on the coast. So I worked about 3 years to get access to this fruit, and then finally, when the door opened, we rolled forward and created Maxim. Maxim is named after our two kids, Max and Emma, and we
Ah,
focus on really Grand Cru Pinot Noir and Chardonnay sites from the Sonoma Coast.
and that's what you make, right? Just Chardonnay and Pinot Noir?
Only Chardonnay and Pinot Noir, correct.
Cool. That gets
Uh,
to flex different muscles than you do in your day job, huh?
exactly. It's a ton of fun. They always say, Pinot Noir is the toughest wine to make. And I think there is some truth to that. Definitely in the farming. When you're farming, the Silver Eagle Vineyard that you're tasting is really just about 3, 4 miles from Bodega Bay from the coast as the crow flies. So the
Hmm.
farming is challenging out there.
Wow. Well, it must create some incredible fruit to work with because everything that comes out of this site from you and from other very accomplished winemakers is really special. So look for that Silver Eagle Vineyard. I think it is, as you said, a California Grand Cru site. And do you know anything about when was it planted?
That vineyard now is going on about 15 years old.
Okay.
So there were a couple stages of planting with the different blocks, but it's really an established site. And the wines prove it. I mean, that close to the coast, the yields of production are always very low. So the fruit quality and intensity is just incredible. It's through the roof.
So this is 100% Pinot. Can you take us through like some of the things that you're doing to make it your wine? What is
Sure.
your process?
So the process for me is always about the vineyard. Actually, in 2021, my wife and I were able to purchase an estate property. So those wines are coming down the road, but our estate vineyard is now just next door to the Silver Eagle. It's on what's called Stoats Lane. So the winemaking for me with any site, Cabernet, Pinot, Chardonnay, it's really always about pulling the most you can out of the site and what the vintage delivers. So this Pinot Noir, I mean, it's full throttle in its, aromatics and the black raspberries, the floral notes that jump out of the glass. Um, but it's got intensity and really good acidity. So that's I typically do, for those that are kind of cued into the winemaking, it's usually about 6 to 8% whole cluster grapes that are, added to the tank of Pinot Noir. And that really helps sort of lift aromatics and gives sort of another layer of complexity. And then it ages in French oak. Believe it or not, it's about, depending on the year, 60 to 70% new French oak. for about 15 months in barrel. So all really tippity top, the best barrels you can buy. And the wine just, I mean, it just shows the sight. It's incredible.
Now, these grapes probably, I'm imagining, Pinot can get really teeny.
Yeah,
Are we
yeah.
talking like caviar here? Is it like that small?
Yeah, so these are, these are all sort of suitcase clones that came over from Burgundy. So they're these offshoots, from some of the top Grand Cru sites, and these clusters are tiny. I mean, I can't really show you, but they're really, they're little bitty clusters, and that's part of why they say, challenging how challenging making Pinot Noir is. They're really, very fragile. They're harvested at night as cold as possible and then brought right into the winery for gentle processing. So it's really, it's a different animal than making, Cabernet, which is a much hardier, sturdier cluster.
We've pointed out to exotic cherry, forest floor, almost an incense-like character that's evoking from the glass, a cool sea breeze, salinity. There's a richness, a depth, a denseness, a concentration without it being bitter, which I think is really the challenge for Pinot Noir, getting all that character and using the stem and all that stuff kind of sometimes makes you have to postpone enjoying a wine at this level, but not here. This is just really hedonistic, gorgeous, and yet it's so balanced at the same time, which is really magnificent at the scale that this is showing. And how much total wine are you making?
These are very limited bottlings, just probably 200 some cases. Yeah, they're everything. Each of the different sites that we make for Maxim are very limited in production.
Well, merchantofwine.com, we sell both the Chard and the Pinot. They are tremendous wines. Get your hands on some, and we're very honored to be able to carry the wines. And Sam, it's great to hear it from you. Thank you very much for your time.
You bet, Ian. Thanks so much for the support. Wonderful rating, and I love your warning down there at the bottom of your note. It's fantastic.
I put a little extra
There
into
you
it,
go. I
these
love
wines.
it.
Thanks, man.
Thanks so much.
Take care.
Bye.
Thanks, Sam.